Hello everyone, this is Brian Beamish, the Canadian Rational Investor, also known on Twitter and TradingView, CR Investor, with today's Bitcoin summary for Thursday, June 19th, 2014. Great to see you all again. Basically, going to start off today's broadcast. Just a quick, of course, these are supposed to be 10-minute videos. We'll see how it goes, trying to get the time under. But anyway, quick plug to start off. The website, if you want to go to it, therationalinvestor.ca. We are altering the website over the next few months, so it'll look a little differently over time. But long and short of it here, all the information and resources that I mentioned through these videos you can find here, and most of it's for free. Nice little Twitter feed here, just shows you all the work that I'm working on at present if you are interested to see what it is I'm doing and what I'm looking at. Menu up here gives you lots of resources you can look at, and just overnight I updated the seminars. I've been making reference to the various different models that I've run over time, and so now I've got those tutorial slideshows in there as well. And at any time you can go look at either YouTube videos or the slideshow material of all the different advanced technical analysis tools that I use. And as well, you can take my course, learn how to become a trader, and all of that information. So feel free to peruse through that, and for the time being, it's still all free. And I will mention, just because it needs to be, these videos do take a bit of effort to put together. And they are free on YouTube. So if you do feel like patting me on the back for a job well done, and it's information that you can use, I highly encourage you to go to the website, therationalinvestor.ca, and you can just click on the donate button, and that pulls up a little Bitcoin wallet, and I'd greatly appreciate all the help that you guys can help me out with. So without further ado, let's get on to the charts. All right, you probably recognize this chart. This is our 4-hour Bitfinex chart from tradingview.com. Nice little site for technical analysis. You can follow me. There's my moniker on this site. And for those people that are new to technical analysis and charting, this is a pretty good service. And the best part about it is it's free. Okay, so we're going to start off today. You know me, I like to zoom out and just take a look at the big picture just to see where we are going forward. This is the year-to-date chart. So there's the January high there at 995 and the April low here at 340. There's a 50% bounce, so nice technical play there. Double bottoms playing up to the 50% level. That often works out quite well. And you can see how the market basically ran up to that 50% level and then stalled. I suppose one could argue that institutions would be really interested in shorting up here in the I'll call it 750 up to 850 zone. So we'll keep an eye on that going forward. One thing that I guess I don't think I've talked about it of late, but I think it's probably worth mentioning now. You'll notice that this rally peaked to 547. If we just draw a nice rectangular box off of that peak to the ultimate low, the correction low, it painted sort of this previous correction duration window here. And so what I've done is I just cloned that, and I put that correction duration window box off of most recent highs. And what I thought was interesting was that we have this big FBI Silk Road auction coming up, and it just so happens to coincide with that. The end of this correction duration window box just so happens to line up with this June 22nd. So it'll be interesting. I think that we're getting fairly close to the end. You know, do we have to come down and make one more low here into that event? Too hard to tell right at the moment. As you can see from just the 4-hour, I think it's fascinating. You know, we drew the fibs off of the lows, and off of the lows, lo and behold, look where price came back down, right down to the 38.2 fib, what I call my first stop target. Gyrated wildly around there for a bit, but then calmed down. And as we pointed out off of the lower time frame chart, just the 1-hour chart, we had a half decent little long entry signal there, right off around that 38.2 level. I find that fascinating how that happens. So if this is, this is the definition of dead cat bounce. If this thing is going to bounce, where's it likely to bounce to? Here's 50% of that sell-off down move. And I think it's also, well, anyway, 50%. And here is the OTE short zone. That's this box right here. So if institutions were going to short against this fail and short against this dead cat bounce counter trend rally, my hunch is that they want to probably target this area up in here. We talked a little bit about how market is really obeying trend lines right at the moment. We had this trend line confluence right here, and price broke out above it, and you can see how price is just flirting with this uptrend trend line now. If we lose that, then we're probably coming back down to this downtrend line, and what a coincidence, it just so happens to be right between those two significant moving averages. So again, not really any big surprises here. What's momentum telling us? This rally itself was a little bit problematic. We have basically higher highs and higher lows, but in the momentum itself, we have lower highs and lower lows. And gee whiz, we have a willy stupid condition here that's trying to resolve itself. So long and short of all this is purchases up in this area, probably not a good idea. And we need to just be patient and wait for this thing to calm down and put in some sort of bottom before we start thinking about loading up again. All right, so that's sort of higher time frame, basically still looking for a little bit higher. If we zoom in on the 1 hour, we can see this a little bit closer. As we, the last note I put, the dead cat bounce has played itself out. Now what? We do potentially have this massive bull flagpole formation that's suggesting we might get up into sort of this 660 area. That to me does seem a bit aggressive. Again, if we look at the momentum reading, we do have this potential bearish divergence working here, so that's a bit of a problem. Not really getting any huge response from volume right here, and long and short of it is I think the market's just waiting for this auction to happen now. So, if I wanted to be a seller and I was thinking institutionally, I'd want to get a price up into this area. If I wanted to be a buyer, here's our first stop target, 38.2, and what a coincidence, that's just off of this significant low. So I could see them come down and wash that low, wash out any weak hand stops, and then start to bottom in earnest. Ultimately, if we're thinking like an institution, we really want to concentrate on the OTE zone, and that's down at 550. And really, I could see if this was a head and shoulders pattern that plays out, then a fail of that head and shoulders would take us down into this zone here. A couple other things I'd point out. You notice how the 200-period moving average, now all of the moving averages are creating a nice sandwich here. So we're getting quite a bit of congestion. And then remember, I made original reference to this downtrend line off of the top, the original downtrend line. And you can see how price is just sort of oscillating right around it. So I think it really likes this, this trend line. So put it all together, what does it mean? Basically a hurry up and do nothing kind of market. Levels that I would be interested if you were trading lower time frame setups. There's a potential 15-minute double bottom here. We have a breakout through this old high. I suppose this bar's high is a level to watch for. And then, of course, this bar's low is a level to keep an eye on as well. So basically, I would say Bitcoin itself is range bound between about 612 and about 600 on the downside for the time being. And really, I don't foresee any major developments happening here ahead of this auction. I think basically the players, if you will, are getting positioned for the auction, and then we're probably going to see the fireworks afterward. All right, so that's basically our summary for Bitcoin here for today. The only thing I just leave off with, I thought it was very interesting to see that Litecoin has actually gone and put in a double bottom right at this significant psychological $10 level. So we'll see how that plays out. You can see the massive double top. In fact, this is a top within a top here. And the failure. I was acutely concerned about whether this thing was just going to fall right apart. but as you can see, price came down into the OTE zones here and was rejected higher. And now we actually have a little potential bullish flag working here, which might take us back up into the OTE here. So very interesting to see Litecoin acting the way it is. And I did read one follower of mine said he's more interested in the alts right now than Bitcoin itself. And I suppose one could argue that at some point these alts have got to respond to Bitcoin's rally. It's just really a question of more of when rather than if. All right, so that's basically today's video. Have yourselves a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.